Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Thanks a lot for joining the channel once again. Today we're going to have a very special basketball themed review, so I really hope that you guys enjoy it. So welcome once again to the channel everyone. I really appreciate having you back. My name is Devagaro, I'm your host. And today, as I was saying, I'm really excited because these are my very first Kobe Protro 6s ever. And the theme is the 2021 All-Star Game that actually took place last weekend. Today I'm shooting on the 14th of March. Very quickly though, I wanted to pause for a moment and say thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed over the last couple of weeks. The family has just boomed over the last few weeks. We really appreciate it. We are definitely going strong and we're still on track to hitting our 300 subscribers by the end of this month. So thank you so much. We would have never been able to do it without you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please, the button is right here. Leave a like, hit the notification bell, or leave a comment. We just want to keep the conversation going about sneakers and style. Now, let's go ahead and declassify the Kobe Nike Protro 6 All-Star Game 2021. As you can see, first of all, let's start looking at the box. It comes in a black box all around, and you have the sheath logo on top right here, which is the standard and characteristic logo of Nike and the Black Mamba Kobe, rest in peace. And over here underneath the logo we also have, I don't know if you guys can see it, but we do have the Kobe signature. Then I think, yeah, here on this side we have the tag with size 10, which is definitely not my size. I'm a 13, but I couldn't secure my size, so I had to get this to get it to all of you guys. So there we go. And all right, let's jump into looking at the actual sneakers. All right, open the box and we have standard white paper, wrapping paper. These shoes are beautiful. So let's pull both of them out. And you can tell they're 10 because I can hold them in one of my hands. Okay, here we go. So let's place these over here. All right, so as always guys, front to back. This time we're not going to be talking about mud guards or toe caps because this upper part is just a couple of sections. You have the heel section towards the rear, which is all black, and then you have pretty much 75% of the upper of this sneaker in red, mostly red, because as you can see towards the base, starting from the base where it's meeting the midsole, it has a darker tone to it, and then as it makes its way up to the center of the forefoot, it becomes brighter red. And this whole, in terms of the material, it's like a microfiber material with reptile-like scales on top, which is super cool. It's very traditional for some of Kobe's sneakers, and it's just great. On both sides, on the outer side and the internal side of the upper section, we have white swooshes. Now, moving our way up to the laces section, there is a lace lock right at the base of the laces, and it reads LA. If you look at the left sneaker, it says 2011, and this is reminiscent to Kobe's performance in 2011 of All-Star Game, and that's where he first debuted this sneaker right here, but with a lot less tech, as we're gonna see in a little bit. So then keeping on going up in terms of laces, the laces are featured in black and red. They have this zigzag interwoven pattern with metallic tips. Behind the shoelaces, there is a mesh-like material for the tongue. Now, when you get to the tip of the tongue, it has this reflective sheath logo that, depending on the angle, how you look at it, you can see how the logo looks. And you know, it's a pretty interesting, you know, feature, but I think it's kind of like early 2000s kind of a look. Now moving on to the sock liner, it's a black sock liner. It's extremely padded. It's very, very comfortable for a lot of support in your heel. And this is a very unique detail that, as you can see, the sock liner protrudes out of the heel and it wraps us. It has this little curve wrapping around the heel. So that's pretty interesting, very nice. And I think that that's also very important so that it doesn't, you know, dig into your Achilles heel. So that's pretty cool. Now, moving on to the back, to the rear section of the sneaker, it's all black, as I was saying. It features the Kobe signature, and we also have 6 little dots in horizontal pattern. And I think a wild guess is that it's just underscoring that these are the Protro 6s. If anybody has more details, please leave us a detail comment in the section down below, and maybe you guys can teach me something I did not know. And this is a little cup here that just secures and locks your foot, your heel, into the sneaker. Obviously you need that for performance. Now let's move on to the midsole. It's a very interesting midsole because it features 3 different colors and also types of materials. So the first one, the foam, it has 2 types of foam. It has a black foam, which is mostly in the center of your foot towards the forefoot. And then we have this very, I would say it's even softer foam towards the rear and your heel, which is white. But then there's also a kicker over here, which is this cup over here, right around your arch. And I suspect that this is because they wanted to give you during, you know, while you're hooping, they want to give you more balance and more support. Moving on, outsole, icy blue with hits of black and red, the red logo, the sheath, and you have the cup also covering just underneath the outsole in the center. And then what Nike has been telling everybody is that the tread, the traction, they have improved it versus the 2011 version, and this is so that there is better grip while you're playing basketball, so obviously better performance. But at the end of the day, the biggest tech switch up has been, or not even switch up, I would say enhancement, has to do with the Nike Air Zoom Turbo. And that's not here in the back, but it's actually in the entire forefoot. And this is an air unit which is welded with channels so that you have quicker response in, you know, sudden changes of direction. Obviously, it's very important to also address the release date. And the reason is because we all know that supply chains have been disrupted for the most part of the last year. So that's nothing new. However, for these, the original date was scheduled for February 20th to drop, but then it got pushed back to 8th of March, and finally it ended up settling on the 15th of March, which is noticeably already after the All-Star game. But, you know, that's the world we live in now. So it is what it is. However, here in Germany, these dropped in a very interesting way. These dropped on the 3rd of March via a semi-exclusive access or first come first serve that was more like a shock drop, and it wasn't even on the sneakers app, it was on your normal Nike app. So it was very interesting to see. As I was saying, I wasn't able to secure my size, but I was able to secure a size 10 for the review, and I'm very excited. It's a beautiful shoe. Now let's take a closer look at the pricing. First off, these dropped in Germany at the retail price of 174.99 euros. I'm assuming that that's the same price for the rest of the EU countries. And in the US, it's going to go for 180 bucks. Now, switching gears to the aftermarket, they're ranging from anywhere between 200 to 400, being the cheaper sizes, smaller and bigger sizes being a little bit more expensive, closer to that 400 range. Now, if you compare them to the Grinches, they're noticeably a lot less expensive. So that's something you might want to consider. Okay, so now let's talk about sizing. Full disclosure, as you already know, these are not my size. These are 3 full sizes, smaller than my size. That's why we're not having an on-foot review, unfortunately. But I can still share a couple of pointers with you guys. So number 1, I have heard that these run small. So you want to go half a size up. If that's not the case, if someone out there wants to call me out, please go ahead, leave a comment in the section down below and let us know how do they fit, if it is really true that they are running small. So, because obviously you want to have a good fit if you want to hoop on them, because these are for performance again. Remember that, guys. The next thing is you want to make sure that you try them before, if you can. You know, if you have access to some other Protros, you know, give it a shot. Try to see if they fit or not, because it's always a good idea, especially if you're going to make such an important investment. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking around until this point in the video. And once again, thank you so much. I'm so thrilled of seeing the family grow a ton. If you haven't joined or subscribed, please subscribe right now. Leave a like, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment. We would love to hear from you guys. So, as always, you have now been duly briefed, and we can officially declassify the Nike Kobe Protro 6 All-Star Game 2021. And very important, remember, always fresh, never stress. Until next time.
In the darkest hour, I wanna come for you. I know you've been